Okay, everybody. So today we're going to go back into what we started yesterday. Yesterday we did really simple conversions with metric and US standard units. And today we're going to be a little more advanced with that. So today's going to be looking at converting those in not just the very basic form, but actually looking at it in context of something was measured. And we're going to look at how can we take that measurement and convert it using that chart and some of the things we looked at yesterday. Before we jump into all the converting and everything, I'm going to give you 2 minutes for 10-minute math, and we're going to work on finding expressions. All right. So today's number is 2,600. And in today's number, you're going to you're going to create 5 expressions that equal 2,600. You can see the 2 rules. You can use either addition or subtraction, or you can combine them, but you can't use 2 or 6. So 2 and 6 keys are broken on your calculator. Christian, can you unmute yourself and tell me what 2 numbers can you not use in your expression?
2 and 6.
2 and 6. So for example, I could say 1,000. I'm going to do a simple one so you guys can't take it. 1,000 plus 1,000. I know that equals 2,000. Plus 300 plus 300. Notice I did not use an equal sign. CJ, why did I not use an equal sign?
Because it's an expression, not an equation.
Very good. It's an expression, not an equation. All right. So I know it says create 5, but to save time, because our lesson's a little bit longer today, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. All right. 2 minutes to work on it. And then we'll come back together and you'll share some. All right. Think of as many as you can create in 2 minutes. On your marks, I'm setting a timer. Get set. Go. I really like how Asil's sitting up in a good workspace, and CJ and Alex Shea are sitting up in good workspaces, and Ying too. Thank you guys. You guys have, let's see here, 1 minute left. 1 minute. You guys have a little less than 30 seconds. Thank you. I can see just about everybody's sitting up straight, working hard to get it done. I have one person who does not have their camera on. If they could turn that on, please, that would be great. All right, you can go ahead and finish writing down the expression you're working on. While you're doing that, I'm going to ask, are there anybody who would like to share one of the expressions you came up with? I saw Asil's hand go up right away. So Asil, go ahead and talk us through your expression that you wrote.
So I did 1,010. 10 no not 1,010. 10,000 minus 8,000.
All right, where did that put you if you did 10,000 minus 8,000?
Plus 700 minus 100.
All right, let's go through and let's check and make sure that works. Asil, when you do 10,000 minus 8,000, what does that give you?
2,000.
2,000, very good. Then when you add 2,000 plus 700, that gives you 2,700. And when you take 100 away, you end up with 2,600. Very good. All right, does somebody else besides the seal want to take a minute and share theirs? Alejandro, go ahead. Uh-oh, I gotta put my pen on. Okay, now you're good. Go ahead, Alejandro.
Mine was 500 plus 500 plus 500 plus 500 plus 300 plus 300, and that's how I got 2006.
All right, so let's go through and double check. Alejandro, you know what's 500 plus 500?
1,000.
1,000. So we have 1,000 right there. And then we have another 500 plus 500. That gives us another 1,000. So 2,000. And then we have 300 plus 300, and that's 600. So then when we add 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 600, 1,000, 2,600. Looks like it works. Nice job. How about one more? Do we have one more person who's willing to be a risk taker and share? CJ, go for it.
300 plus 300 plus 300
All right.
plus 600 plus 100 plus another 100 and another 100 plus 1,000
Is that it?
minus 300.
Minus 300? Okay. There's a lot to unpack, so let's go through and do it. Let's start with just your 300s at the beginning.
400.
What?
Minus 400. I meant 400, not 300.
Minus 400. Okay. All right, so let's unpack this. Let's start with just your 300s over here. So if we add up all those 300s, that's going to give us how much?
900.
So we have 900 plus 600, and that's going to give us what?
1,200.
1,200? 900 plus 600? I get 1,500. Yeah. Plus, then we have 300 more. And that gives us 1,800. Plus 1,000 more. And that's going to give us 2,800. And we're trying to get to 2,600. So instead of subtracting 400, how many do we need to subtract at the end?
200.
Minus 200. Now we've got one that works. But I compliment you for giving an effort to try to think outside the box and do a big long one that involves a lot of different addition and different numbers. So nice work. All right, let's move forward to today's goal. All right, go ahead and erase your whiteboards, and you can put those to the side. You're not going to need them until later. So you can put those to the side so they're not a distraction during the main part of the lesson. Cynthia, can you read our goal today nice and loud, please?
Our goal today is to solve unit conversion problems using both metric and US standard units.
Very good. So we're going to look at solving some conversion problems using US standard units and metric units. Do you guys remember, who can tell me what is the US standard units for length? We talked about them yesterday, the ones we use in the United States. Do you guys remember? Somebody besides those people I've already heard from today. I'll give you a clue. One is inches. Clay, what else do we use besides inches in the United States?
Millimeters.
That's metric. Inches, or there's 12 inches in a what?
In a foot.
So we have feet, inches, and yards. And then metric would be millimeters, and there's two more. CJ, what are they?
Centimeters and meters.
Centimeters and meters. So US is inches, feet, and yards, and then metric is millimeters, centimeters, and meters. So in just a few minutes, we're not going to start doing these yet, but we're going to be looking at how can I take a measurement like 2 feet and 8 inches and say it all in inches, right? How can I say what this would be in all, just completely in inches? All right, I'm going to do a quick reminder before we move on with the lesson. I still have 2 people, it looks like, without cameras on. If you could please make sure your camera is on so we know you're present and at the lesson. All right, let's move on to the next page. And we're going to look at one way to remember that is the power Y, or what we call yard man. So we'll notice a yard is the biggest unit. That's why you have this big letter Y right here in the middle. That is a yard. You'll notice there are 3 legs of a Y. 1, 2, and 3. Each of those has one F. What do you think that F stands for?
Feet.
Feet, right? And there are 3 feet in a yard. So a way to remember that is that a Y has 3 legs, and then there's 1 foot for each of those legs of the Y. So 1 yard is 3 feet. Then you have your little inch lines. So each of those blue lines is equal to 1 inch. There are 12 of them in a foot. So each leg of that Y has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 inches right here in 1 foot. And if we counted them all together, we have 36 of them in the whole yard. So that's just a good little graphic. I added this to Canvas yesterday, but for some reason it's having trouble showing up today. I will try to go in after our lesson and add it back on there so you can see it as a visual if you need to do it, because it is a good visual to look at if you need to remember that 1 yard equals 3 feet, 1 yard equals 36 inches, and 1 foot equals 12 inches. But we have that chart from yesterday to use today if you need it, okay? So we have that. We also, just as a quick reminder, yesterday we said 1 meter is 100 centimeters, 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters, and 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. Now, today we're going to focus mostly on that 1 meter being equal to 100 centimeters, okay? But that whole chart we used yesterday is going to be available on your assignment if you need it for help, and we'll talk through that when you get to the assignment today, okay? Anybody have any questions about the conversion so far or about the power Y? Cool. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and move on, and we're going to look at 2 examples of a story type problem where you would have to do these kinds of things. And this is where I'm going to need y'all to be brave and risk takers and participate besides the same couple people I've heard from so far. All right, so let's look at the first problem. It says Clarence measures his dog to be 3 feet 8 inches long. How many inches long is Clarence's dog? So let's just stop for a second. Marvin, can you tell me how long do we know that Clarence's dog is already in the problem?
8 inches.
It's not just 8 inches. We have 8 inches as part of it, but we also have 3 what?
3 feet and
3
8
feet.
inches.
Very good. 3 feet and 8 inches. So I'm going to draw on a line to kind of break that down. So let's pretend this is his dog. I know this is a terrible drawing, okay? I'm not trying to make a good drawing. So there's his dog. If we have the whole length, we have 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, and then this little leftover part right here is 8 inches, right? So CJ, what is the problem asking us to figure out?
How many inches is Clarence's dog?
Yeah, it's asking us how many inches long it is, right? So if I'm looking at that drawing, I only have one thing labeled inches. It's 8. Would the correct answer to this problem be that Clarence's dog is 8 inches long? Give me a thumbs up if you think that's correct. Everybody right now, I'm going to count to 3. If you think the answer to this is Clarence's dog is 8 inches long, then give me a thumbs up. On the count of 3, if you think that no, that's not the correct answer, give me a thumbs down. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, I'm seeing some thumbs up and some thumbs down. Ying, you gave me a thumbs down. Why did you give me a thumbs down?
Because 1 foot equals 12 inches. It says that 3 feet 8 inches long.
Yeah, thank you. You guys, it might have been, she was kind of hard to hear. She's breaking it out. We still have to count for these 3 feet over here, right? There's only 8 inches long right in the problem, but we still have to be able to say, okay, there's 3 feet. How many inches is that, right? So we have to be able to change those feet to inches. That's called the conversion. That's what we're looking at today. A conversion is when you change one unit to the other. Well, if we look at the bottom, we remember 1 foot equals 12 inches, right? So if I'm going to say down here, I have 1 foot on my chart, that's 12 inches. I have 2 feet, that's 12 inches. And then I have 3 feet, that's also, I drew a line there I didn't mean to draw. That's also 12 inches. So now I know that each of those feet is 12 inches, plus I have my 8 inches. What am I going to do to figure out my total length of that dog in inches? Raise your hand if you think you know what I need to do to figure out the total length of that dog in inches. Cynthia, what do I need to do?
Add the 12s together.
I'm going to add them all together. So we can start with the 12s. 12 plus 12 plus 12 inches. If I start with the ones place, 2, 4, 6. And then 1, 2, 3. 3 tens. So I have 36 inches. That's just for my 3 feet, right? So that's 36 inches. What else do I still need to do? Besides those 3 feet. CJ, what do I need to do?
Add the 8 inches.
Yeah, I got to add in the 8. So I'm going to do 36 inches plus 8 inches. And I get a total length of that dog of 44 inches. Right? So that's what these problems are asking us to do. They're asking us to convert from one to the other. All right. So I'm going to move over to this next one. That's just meters. All right. It says Tori is looking to buy a new rug. She likes the rug that is 3 meters and 36 centimeters long. How many centimeters long is the rug? So again, I'm going to draw out Clay. How long is the rug? What does it say in the problem? How long is the rug?
It says the rug is 1 foot.
Well, look at the problem on the
So
screen.
there's 3 feet. Right.
Not feet. What's it say? I'm underlining it right now.
It says 3. It says 3 meters and 36 centimeters long.
Yeah, so there's the rug. Let's pretend that's laying on the ground. And I have down here are my 3 meters, right? So this whole length is 3 meters. And then this little end part is my 36 centimeters. All right. I have 3 meters. How many centimeters are in a meter? Alex J, how many centimeters are in 1 meter?
100.
100, right? So I'm going to make, here's my 3 meters right here. And each of those has 100 centimeters. So there's 100 centimeters in the first meter. There's 100 centimeters in the second meter. And there's 100 centimeters in the third meter, right? Now, what do I need to do to figure out how many total centimeters this rug is? What do you think, Christian? What do you think I need to do?
Add them.
I'm going to add them all together, right? So I'm going to start with just my hundreds. So 100 plus 100 plus 100. Anybody can unmute. How many centimeters is that?
300.
300 centimeters.
300.
Then I'm going to add in how many are left. Anybody can unmute and tell me.
36.
My 36. And I do 300 plus 36. And I get 336 centimeters. Boom. Done. Okay. So now I'm going to go to the next page, our chart. And I'm going to give you, there are 4 on here, but I'm going to give you 2 to solve. All right. To save us a little bit of time before we go, because I want to have time to go through your assignment with you a little bit. Okay. So we're going to do 2 examples. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to solve them on your own. Okay. And I want to see that when you're doing it, there is work done on your whiteboard. So I'm going to ask you to show me your whiteboards here in 5 minutes. All right. The first one is I want you to tell me this height of the desk. That's 2 feet and 8 inches. I want to know, how high is that in inches? So if it was 2 feet and 8 inches, how high is it in inches? All right. And then I want to know how high is the door in the classroom if it's 2 meters and 17 centimeters? So how high is that in centimeters? All right. And as a reminder, Alejandro, how many inches are in 1 foot?
12.
Very good. 1 foot's 12 inches. If you need it, that's on the screen. And Christian, how many centimeters are in a meter?
100.
Yeah, 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. All right. So you don't need to do the bottom two. I'm going to cross those out. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to solve those top two, and then we're going to go through your solutions. Okay. 5 minutes. I'm going to go 4 minutes. I think you can get it done in 4. So 4 minutes. I will let you know at the 2-minute mark. Okay. Go ahead and get started on those 2 problems. You guys have about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Guys have about 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Then we're going to come back together and share your work. So 1 minute and 30 seconds. Noticing how Alex, Jay, and Marvin are in good places to work, sitting up straight. Actually, a lot of the people in this group are in a good spot to work and sitting up straight, working on their whiteboards. Thank you, guys. That's very important. Appreciate you doing that. About 30 seconds. We're going to come back together. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and come back together. Now, if you're finishing up writing something on your problem, go ahead and finish writing it down. Is there anybody who would like to share how you solved the height of the desk 2 feet 8 inches and found it in inches? Derek, was your hand up? I can't tell. No? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to pick somebody then. Oh, Marvin, thank you. Marvin, what did you do to figure out that total height in inches? Go ahead and tell us step by step. I'm going to record what you did while you tell me.
So
I knew that 2 feet was 12 inches.
So hang on. You know that 2 feet was 12 inches, or did you know there's 12 inches in a foot and you had 2 feet?
Yeah.
That's an important
Yes.
difference. Okay. So I'm going to draw out what I think you're saying. So you're saying if each of those is 1 foot, this one was 12 inches and this one was 12 inches. Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay. Go on.
And then I added 12. I added 12 all the way to 8.
So you mean you added 12 plus 12 and then 8? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I did that.
Okay. So 12 plus 12, you got 24. And then you had your 8 left over. So you added 24 plus 8.
Mhm.
All right. And what did you get?
I got it 32.
32 inches. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with Marvin's answer of 32 inches for that first problem. Marvin, I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up. I also agree with you. Nice job. So our answer number 1 is 32. I'm going to go ahead and draw a little line. Christian, can you talk us through what you did for the second one with meters and centimeters?
I know for the meters, it's 100 in each one. So then I added 2 of them for 2 meters. So then it was 200.
Okay, so I'm going to slow down. I'm going to clarify your thinking. You know there's 100 what in a meter?
100
100 what? What do we call those? 100
centimeters.
millimeter, 100 centimeters in each meter. Okay, so each one of my rectangles is your meter. So you have 100 centimeters, and then you added those together. So 100 plus 100, and you got 200 centimeters. Okay. Then what?
Then I added 17.
So you still had 17 left over. So you added 200 plus 17. What'd you get when you added 200 plus 17?
217.
217 centimeters. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with Christian's answer and you got 217 centimeters for that problem. I see lots of thumbs up. Very good. All right. Thank you too for taking time to share that. Now I'm going to talk through your work today that you're going to do independent. You have about 25 minutes that we're going to go and get to work on some of the problems before we start reading. And I'm going to be very clear about a couple. We're going to do a couple different groups when we go to do these problems. So I want to make sure everybody understands what they're doing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my Canvas screen. Okay. There are 2 different sets of problems today, and I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Can everybody see my Canvas page right now? Just say yes if you can.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. So we're going to go to Tuesday and we're going to click on math. Okay. There are 2 sets. There are measurement conversions and there's measurement conversion challenge problems. Some of you guys are going to go with me and some of you are going to go with Miss Weibel, and we're going to do one of these in a small group. And some of you guys, I think, have shown that you've done an excellent job with this. And I would like you to do the challenge problems first today. Okay. And we'll let you know who's doing what here in a second. I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you guys, I can see everybody and make sure we all know where we're going. Okay. But in just a second, some of you will do just regular measurement conversions. Some of you will do the challenge problems because you've shown that you can do these pretty well. And I want to see if you can do some that are maybe a little bit step harder. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop recording.